Is being smart even worth it anymore? Like, honestly, I was thinking about this and I just don't know the answer, right? Like, I feel being intelligent and being smart, they give you like awareness. And at least nowadays, like the clarity and awareness that you get from being smart kind of it shows like the cracks in like reality, you know? Like you can see like the hypocrisy, the narcissism, the systems, like the broken systems, the fake people, you see everything. And it just puts on display. Like for example, you can I don't know what's up with that like rendering on that mountain. That looks kind of weird, but like for example, you'll just start to notice like just how fake people really are nowadays, how everything is curated for short-term like dopamine, or how everything you see, everyone's perception, like everyone cares about how they're perceived so much to the point where they'll bring somebody down completely just to lift themselves up like barely. Like there's people who would spend like so much of their time to fool everyone else, and it's just like if you're smart, you can see you will see reality for what it really is and how fake and how corrupt and all these things, like how just fake everything is, right? And then it just like it would make you just overthink everything, right? Because like if you're intelligent, you can't stop being intelligent. You just are. So everything you see, there's no off switch. You can't stop overthinking. You can't stop analyzing your surroundings. You know, like sometimes like I'm not saying like I'm smart or I'm intelligent, because realistically I don't think I am that smart or intelligent, but I will admit like sometimes you go to a party and you're not drunk, you don't drink, or at least this time I didn't drink. And I'm at a party and I'm sitting there and I'm looking around and you kind of just see everything for what it is and how everything is so superficial. It's all fake. You know, people would spend their nights trying to get dudes are trying to get with girls and make it seem like they just like partying in general, but all they want is just to, get with a girl. And you know, people, you know what I mean? They go to parties and all they want to do is impress other people, make themselves look cool, and you know, just nothing that's, real. And for like a truly smart person, they would see this more than just like at a party. They would see this in like daily life, like every living second. They would have to like experience that, like in general, see the masks people wear and see how superficial everything is as a constant reminder that you're living in like a simulation almost, And I think that's the problem. Like you just don't experience stuff. Like it's not like you experience things. It's just like you have to like dissect them, and then you can't like stop doing that. It's just something that comes naturally, which I think is like, detrimental. And then like through that, it would just make you feel so like alone, like you'd feel like you don't fit in with anybody because no one else like understands where you're coming from. You know what I mean? I hope I'm like making sense, right? But like on like for example, like surface level conversations would just feel pointless. Like small talk doesn't make any sense, right? Like, is being intelligent even worth it anymore at that point? Like, everyone wants to be intelligent. Like, everybody strives for intelligence, right? But does anybody really think that it's worth it? Like, is it actually something that you want to do? Because once you're smart, like, you can't become stupid again, right? And I don't know. I think that's the problem. Like nowadays, we've cultivated such like a social like landscape, or such a world where everything is so fake that if you really like sit back and look, you would go like crazy almost because everything is so fake. Like you can't walk outside and you know if you see some friends chatting, they're probably not even talking about anything relevant, just you know this, that, and the third. No one's actually doing something with their lives of meaning. And I think for a really like a serious intelligent person, they would step back and see this and do like, they would go crazy. And then that would lead to isolation, which in itself is, never never really good. Like isolation would cause depression because humans need social like humans have a need for social like activities. Like humans need to be social. It's part of like human nature. And by, isolating yourself from that, in turn, it would lead to depression and deep depression because there's been studies shown where high intelligence and high IQ has been linked to like high anxiety and depression. And it's not something you can just fix, right? Because like I said earlier, you can't just change your mind. You can't like turn your brain off, right? It's That's not how it works, you know? So it's like the more you understand, the more like you ruminate, you know? I don't know. Like it's almost like the suffering is guaranteed if you're intelligent. And it's like at that point, is it even worth it to be smart? Like for example, I used to know a guy in high school who he had like a crazy IQ, like crazy IQ, like he never studied. We were in the same like classes and he never studied at all. He just naturally got good grades and you could tell like in talking to him, like you could just tell like he was just so fed up with everything. And I talked to him one day and I was asking him, and he was saying something similar to this, like he just doesn't see a point in social interactions anymore with people. Like he said, none of it feels real. It's all just like, it's all fake. No one genuinely cares how you're doing. They just say that to say that. Like, how are you? They don't mean it, you know? And I agree with him, right? And, you know, I kind of felt bad because when I heard this, I was like, it must suck. Like, to be honest, like, I do agree with what he's saying. Like, I can, agree with what he's saying. Like, I resonate with that. But I'm like, dude, it really just sucks. It really just sucks. And like, do you really even want to be intelligent anymore? Like, is that really something people really want? I don't know. It's like the constant exhaustion of having to dissect your like everyday life and see how much like NPCs you're around, daily. Like in this day and age, you're around so many NPCs where everything's curated, everything, everything is there for like looks. No one cares about like genuine connection. It's all about social media, and even that in itself is paradoxical. And I think an intelligent mind would notice how paradoxical it is to be so social in such a social age, but at the same time be so unsocial. Like social media is everywhere. Everyone messages each other, but every message and every like interaction is meaningless almost. You know, it's just crazy. Like nowadays, like what's the point? You know what I mean? And yeah, that's really it. This is a nice sunset. That's really it, honestly. Yeah, just I don't know. Thank you for listening. And yeah.